This is my first time doing a meet and greet, so I appreciate this. All right, I'm basically just going to start reading from the introduction because it's going to give you a way to really get to know me. And I love this quote. It says, "My broken brilliance will shine a light in the darkness." And that was by Matt Hardy. As a child, I remember standing in front of my mirror and picturing myself as a very successful person. As I studied myself and imagined how tall I would be in the future, I dreamed of what I could be in the near future. What I didn't realize is that at some point in my life, there would be brokenness. The mirror, which represented my dreams, would also be shattered. The good news is that each of these shattered pieces of my dreams will be put back together to form an incredible masterpiece that is my life today. We are all searching for purpose. Each person on this planet has a dream. There is a legacy we all want to leave. Through this journey we call life, there will be times when we experience a shattered dream. Through each broken piece, there comes growth. Each piece comes together to create a beautiful portrait of our lives and to show the path we're intended to walk. I want you to know that you're not alone. Although various forms of adversity and different forms of disappointment may have broken our spirits, we must discover how we can use these moments to better our lives. Do I have all the answers? No. Is this an answer to all your questions? No. This book is meant to be an encouragement for those of you who are looking for purpose and are trying to find it in material possessions, a successful career, or personal relationships. It has been said that the average human lives 28,000 days. This equates to 76.71 years, 40,320,000 minutes, 672,000 hours. When I put that in the book, it gave me the chills. I'm like, oh man, it doesn't seem like a lot of time. While this time may seem like a lot, there's an important fact associated with the 28,000 days. The average human sleeps 1/3 of this time. In essence, 25 years of our life is spent sleeping. As a result, we spend 50 years living. My question for you to ponder as you read this book is, what have you done with your time lately? What will you do with the minutes, hours, and days you have left? And I want to read another part real quick of the first chapter. And I have all my chapters, they start with quotes that have inspired me. So this one has always inspired me. It says, "Life is not measured by how many breaths we take, but how many moments that take our breath away." I can say that again, but that really it really stays with me. Suddenly, I felt a jarring hit. I hit my head on the ground and blacked out. I woke up in an ambulance with my mom and dad draped over me and 2 air casts on my legs. I had been hit by a drunk driver and had no idea what was going on. I recall that when I blacked out, it was as if I was still conscious or if what was happening around me. It was so bright. For a moment, it seemed as if I was looking at my body from outside. I didn't hear a voice calling me, but I did feel as though I was rushing towards something. At only 12 years old, I began to see how quickly things can change in a person's life. One minute, I was riding my bike and having a good time. The next minute, I was seconds away from death. I couldn't recall everything that happened to me, but one thing for sure, I didn't want to die. There were things I wanted to do. In other words, I didn't believe it was my time to leave Earth because I had not fulfilled my life's purpose. One of the biggest misconceptions about following God and finding purpose is that our events in our life should have a smoother path. In the past, I've been told that when something wasn't working, that it wasn't meant for me. In my walk with God, I discovered that while God is there to protect and guide us, following Him is one of the most challenging things we can do. It requires faith to believe that life will work out. There's an incredible journey that God has planned for His creation and His children. Yet, this life is brief. Why live it in hiding, just waiting for eternity? I invite you to live dangerously and see how full your life will be. What does it mean to live dangerously? It means being willing to step into unfamiliar territory. Everyone is not called to sacrifice their lives on the battlefield, but there are things in this life that each and every one of us is called to live out. Will you throw in the towel when things get tough, or you cannot see what God's next move is going to be? I challenge you to be sensitive to that quiet inner voice that speaks to you. Live your truth today. There's a life that we all want, a freedom and a life of purpose based on our gifts and talents.